Adya Chauhan. Okay. And the question, can you hear me again at the back? The question by Adya is, how did spiritualism act as your divine anchor during your stay in space? When I went to space, I literally had no time. I was so busy that I used to come back, when the day finished, I used to just drop dead sleep and wake up again 6 o'clock and get to the science. So I don't think there was any moment per se wherein I had the time to sit and think about things. I was very, very busy doing the experiments in science. However, more than spiritualism, I feel that the unique perspective that space offers you, looking back at Earth, that definitely is very transformational in nature. It is not spiritualism, but it's the overall feeling of looking at Earth from the outside where you have always been. Everybody whom we know have always been on that planet, and you are looking at it from the outside. It's a very different perspective, and it speaks very strongly about the fragility of human life. So that definitely is transformational, but this I did not get the time to. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for answering the question. Just a short information for you. I am from CMS Aliganj Campus 1, and my teacher Gajan is also Nageshwar, sir.
Well, all I can say to you is good luck. Check. Adya Mishra, Kanpur Road, 12. Considering the delicate balance between life support systems, propulsion, and navigation in space, which single technological system did you feel was the most vulnerable, and how did you mentally prepare for that risk? Adya Mishra. I think you are qualified enough to join ISRO immediately after this. That's a great question. The difference between a human spaceflight mission and a non-human spaceflight mission like satellites is the human inside. And to sustain the human life, you need the environmental control and life support system. That becomes very critical. So although there is a lot of expertise on the propulsion, thermal, electrical systems, but development of an environmental control and life support system is very challenging. And I think that is where a lot of research is happening, and that is where we will need contribution from all of you. So that would be my answer to your question. Thank you. Ishan Singh, Cambridge. Hi. When you were training for space, did you ever fail at something? How did you use that failure to move forward? All the time, almost every day. And I think not just training, when we travel to space and you go there for a mission for 2 weeks, we ended up staying for 18 days, and you have trained so much in last 1 year, and you go certain science and a lot of experiments, but your environment changes, and you have to learn everything. You have to learn to walk, you have to learn to, actually not walk, you have to learn to float. If float, you have to learn to sleep, learn to eat. We make silly mistakes. We make mistakes, we fail at something, we don't complete our experiment sometimes. And it is very frustrating. You feel that, you have trained so much, you are so qualified, and then you make mistakes. But the catch is that mistakes do happen. Everybody makes mistakes. And it's not a failure if you make a mistake. You fail at something. That activity is not a failure. And when you fail, you learn from it. It doesn't remain a failure anymore. You have turned it into success already because that mistake has taught you something that you'll apply in your next attempt. So I think failure, you do fail at things, but it never becomes a failure. So that is my answer to you. Syed Raza Rizvi. soft branch. Your journey has made every Indian proud. As you return home, what you feel is India's unique strength that will define its place in the global space exploration community. That is a great question, and my answer to you is all of you, all of you sitting on the stage and all of you sitting in the audience. That is our unique strength, but we just need to capitalize on this strength. And I want a promise from all of you that you will help us reach the top leaderboard or the leadership position in the global space exploration. So this what I see right now is our unique strength.
Children, this is a unique opportunity for you to listen to every word that he says. May I request the press? May I request the press to please allow children to listen to the words? Thank you so much.
Rida Ali, what was the most surprising part of your mission which taught you something new about human life? Oh, like I said, everything. When you land up in space, after 39 years having lived here on Earth, you suddenly reach an environment which is totally new. You actually become like a child. You have to learn to eat. You have to learn to move, I would say float. You have to learn to sleep. Everything changes in your body. And so it teaches you so much about human body because our body has never known this environment of microgravity. Like we've always evolved in gravity and this is what it knows. It goes into a new environment, a lot of changes happens in your body. Your entire fluid or blood, it shifts to your head. Your head becomes bigger. Your heart starts beating slowly because it doesn't have to work against gravity to pump blood to your brain. You start losing muscle. Everything in your stomach starts floating. Like it is, you feel it up your chest. You don't feel hungry for some days. And there are other changes that happen, but within 3 to 4 days, the human body adapts to this new normal and everything becomes okay. And it is all right now. After that, that is your new normal. And when you come back again after 20 days, you have to readjust. The body has forgotten how it is to be in gravity. So this this felt so heavy to me when I came back. I held it and my hand went down because I was not used to this. My mind had forgotten of how it feels to be in gravity again. So I think the biggest learning for me is that human body is a marvel, and it is so fascinating that how quickly it can adapt to certain new conditions and then how quickly it can adapt back when the environment changes. That was the lesson for me. Sabkar Kaur, RDSO. Which experiment in space gave you the most exciting results? So I did 7 Indian experiments and other 4 which were global. Uh, Personally, I liked working on the myogenesis, the stem cell research that we were doing to uh, prevent muscle degeneration. That was very fun to work with because there is a special equipment that you have to use, and that equipment is mounted on a wall. So you have to get up and you stick on the wall sideways, and then you are doing science inside a closed volume with a headset on your ear, and you put a fan next to your head because you are going to be in this position for 3 hours, 3.5 hours, because that is a long experiment. And so you have to put a fan next to you so that the carbon dioxide that you are breathing doesn't stay there. It has to be pushed away. So this entire setup was very unique, and I really enjoyed working in this experiment. And the results, fascinating. I think the researchers really found a way of adding supplements to accelerate this, and they showed great results even when we were on orbit. So I'm very excited about seeing what they publish in the coming months.
I'm sure you are equally excited, children. A louder round of applause this definitely deserves. Great learning that is happening.
My dear students, वो पथ क्या पथिक परीक्षा क्या बिखरे जिसमें शूल न हो वो पथ क्या पथिक परीक्षा क्या बिखरे जिसमें शूल न हो नाविक की धैर्य परीक्षा क्या यदि धाराएं प्रतिकूल न हो तो जो
Wow,
बच्चे बोल
that's
रहे
wonderful.
हैं उनके धाराएं प्रतिकूल हैं, इसलिए भी चुप हो जाइए।
Thank you so much, ma'am.
सीएमएस सुन
Basically,
रहा है?
basically,
कितने थके हुए हैं वो, फिर भी बोल रहे हैं। आपको हंसी आ रही है?
मुझे लगता है भारती मैम मुझे भी चुप करा देंगी।
नहीं, आपने वो करके दिखाया है, जो कोई करके दिखाए तो उसको सुनने के लिए बच्चे सब कुछ छोड़ के आए हैं, पर भूल गए कि क्या करना।
Anima Mishra,
Two more valuable
11th.
questions we have time for.
What challenges or emergencies did you face in space? How were they handled? So, we did have two situations. One, while we were working, we had a fire alarm go off on the International Space Station. And so you have to respond, you train for it, and if there is a fire alarm that comes, then you will wear your mask, oxygen mask, and then you will get to a place and then try to figure out what happened. Fortunately, it was not a real fire, it was a false alarm. So that was one. And second was a warning from ground that there may be a conjunction event, which is there is a lot of space debris, a lot of small articles that are floating because let's say like it's pollution of space, but there are a lot of small articles which are obviously tracked. So there was a warning that there may be one article which will come very close to the station. So we had to respond accordingly. Again, the station can be moved away. It can be propulsion can be used to take it away, and again didn't happen. It was slightly farther than what it was initially imagined. But these were the two things, major things that happened during my stay while we were up on orbit.
So now this is the last question. Absolutely rapt attention, children.
Radhika Chaturvedi, Rajendra Nagar. How long did you take to stabilize your destabilized state after deboarding? Uh, when I splashed down, I was not really feeling bad. I was feeling okay. And I thought that once they pick me up, I will be able to walk. But the minute they lifted me and I took my first step, I fell down and like they had to hold me. And then the second step, again I fell down. And the third step. So in spite of feeling okay, I think the brain forgets of what it takes to, or how much effort it takes to stop your body from falling down, or even just small, small things, whatever. Like I was saying, that you get used to gravity again, and then gradually it takes time for you to build up your strength, or just rewire your brain to learn how to behave in gravity. Like I said, the phone felt heavy. Let alone the phone, when I was in the capsule and we were coming back during the re-entry, when the plasma is there, when there is fire all around the capsule, the G load start to build up. And I remember this, I felt very heavy in my neck. I was trying to lift up to look at the fire that was all around the capsule, and the neck felt heavy. I said, we must be under a lot of Gs. And I looked at the G meter, it was showing 0.3 G. So the eyelids, when you open, they feel heavy. That is the kind of difference that happens when you come back. So again, body takes about 4 to 5 days to come back to almost normal. But fully recovery, I think it would take about 7 days. They clear you for a lot of things, but your muscle strength and your aerobic conditioning, they take more time to come back. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Wonderful. I think we have to come to an end of this wonderful session of questions and answers. We would have loved if Shubhanshu could have answered all the questions, but time does not allow for that. But thank you so much, Shubhanshu Shukla, for the wonderful answers that you've given. The questions that the children have asked, congratulations, children, for asking such intelligent, searching questions that show that you are curious, really bright young minds, and you are budding scientists and inquirers and explorers. Thank you so much for that. And I'd like Shubhanshu to stay up on stage, just have one picture with them. And I would like to request Kamna Shukla to come up because next is that we're going to have some CMS songs, and that will be the last item of the day. Some old CMS songs. And children, we're going to sing those songs only if you sing them. Will you raise your hand if you're going to sing those familiar, favorite CMS songs? Raise your hand, because we will not be singing it if you don't. I need to see your hands. Right up. Everybody's hands, right up. Those who don't want to sing, they can leave the hall. Everybody has to sing in order to stay in the hall. Girls on the right at the top. The girls here on the right, you're looking somewhere else. Thank you. Okay. Right, we can make a start. We want everybody to sing. This is a very special thing for Kamna and Shuks, because these are the old CMS songs that they would have sung in their days. These are the constant, all-time favorite songs of CMS. And I think we should make a start, and even the children who are standing there will sing. Can we make a start?